He always believed that leaving Nigeria for Europe would finally give him the life he had dreamed of. When Daniel boarded his flight at Murtala Mohammed Airport, his heart was racing. His mother's hug was still a warm memory on his shoulders, and the air around him was thick with the buzz of fellow passengers, all filled with so much hope. It felt like destiny was calling him, a new chapter waiting to be written. But the moment he stepped out into the cold, crisp air of Milan, everything changed. Trains rushed past him like metallic beasts, and the unfamiliar voices echoing in the station felt like a wall of sound he couldn't penetrate. This wasn't the welcoming embrace he had pictured. The reality of his new life hit him harder and faster than he ever expected. Back in Lagos, the apartment he'd paid for looked perfect online. The pictures showed a bright, modern space, a place he could call home. But when he finally arrived, dragging his suitcase up several flights of stairs, the reality was a slap in the face. The room was filthy, small, and cramped. The radiator was broken, letting the biting cold seep into his bones. The paint on the walls was peeling off in sad, long strips. He tried calling the landlord, the same friendly person who had been so responsive when he was sending money from Nigeria. Now, there was just silence. His messages went unread. The truth sank in. He had been scammed before he even had a chance to unpack his bags. A bitter welcome to his new life. Still, Daniel refused to be defeated. He held on to the promise of the job he had secured from back home. He pictured a comfortable warehouse role, something manageable, a steady start. But the reality was, once again, a brutal lesson. The work wasn't just manual labor, it was grueling. The hours were long, stretching from early morning to late at night. The supervisors were harsh, their words sharp and impatient, made worse by the language barrier and the cold. The freezing conditions in the warehouse were something he had never imagined. It seeped through his clothes, numbing his fingers and toes, making him regret every single step he had taken to get here. He was alone, overworked, and freezing. The loneliness was perhaps the worst part. The language barrier was like an invisible cage, making him feel completely unseen and unheard. He would try to speak, to ask a question, but the words would get lost, and people would just look past him. The cultural shock was disorienting. Simple things, like how to buy a bus ticket or order coffee, became huge, stressful ordeals. Every evening, his walk home was a painful reminder of his isolation. He would pass by warm, brightly lit restaurants, seeing families and friends laughing together, sharing meals and stories. Then he would trudge back through the icy, empty streets to his tiny, cold room, where the silence was deafening. He couldn't sleep most nights, the cold and the loneliness keeping him wide awake. Homesickness became a constant, dull ache in his chest. He missed the sounds of Lagos, the taste of his mother's jollof rice, the easy banter with his friends. He wanted to call his mother more than anything, to hear her reassuring voice, but he couldn't bring himself to do it. He knew that the moment he heard her say his name, all the walls he had built up would come crashing down. He would break, and he couldn't let her hear that. He couldn't let her know how much he was struggling, how far his reality was from the dream he had sold her. So he stayed silent, carrying the weight of his struggles alone in a foreign land. But then, just when he felt he was at his breaking point, a small act of kindness changed everything. It was a cold afternoon at work. He was struggling to lift a heavy crate, his hands trembling from the cold and exhaustion. A coworker, a woman named Elena, noticed him. She came over, and with a gentle smile, she said softly, "You don't have to do this alone." Those few simple words were like a lifeline. For the first time since he arrived, someone saw him. Not just a worker, not just a foreigner, but a person who was struggling. That small moment was the crack of light he desperately needed. Elena became his guide. She patiently helped him navigate the complicated bureaucracy of getting properly registered. She taught him basic Italian phrases, writing them down on a small notepad for him to practice. She'd correct his pronunciation with a smile, making him feel encouraged instead of embarrassed. She even helped him find a safer, warmer shared apartment with other students and workers, a place that finally started to feel a little like a community. Slowly, with her help, Daniel began to adapt. He learned the transit routes, no longer feeling lost every time he stepped outside. He started making small friendships at his new apartment, sharing meals and learning about their lives. A little bit of the pride he had lost started to return. Months passed. The city that once felt so hostile and intimidating began to reveal its beauty. One evening, Daniel found himself standing on a quiet bridge, looking out over the city. The lights glowed like 1,000 stars below, reflecting in the dark water of the canal. In that peaceful moment, he finally understood. Europe wasn't the paradise he had imagined it to be. It wasn't a golden ticket to an easy life. It was a battlefield, a place that broke him down, tested his limits, and forced him to confront his deepest fears and weaknesses. It was a journey that humbled him in ways he never thought possible. And standing there, looking at the city that had nearly defeated him, he realized a powerful truth. A truth for anyone back home in Nigeria or anywhere else, dreaming of leaving for a so-called better life. The journey abroad will not be what you expect. It will break you. It will test every ounce of your strength. It will humble you. It will make you question everything you thought you knew about yourself. But if you can survive it, if you can endure the cold, the loneliness, and the struggle, you will not just be the same person who left. You will rise from the ashes of your old self, rebuilt and reborn. You will be stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you ever were before. You will be a survivor. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this.